the number one thing that most VP of sales get wrong. So Daniela, talk to me
Yes.
about what does everybody get wrong? What is nobody paying attention to that they should be?
Yeah, I've been VP of sales a few times now, and it's very interesting what I found out that most of the founders, they don't ever ask how you're gonna hire people. So let's say we have, big budgets, we have big dreams, we have zero revenue. Are you gonna do that? Are you gonna get the right people at the right place? Are you going to attract talents? Nobody wants to work for a $0 revenue startup, especially in sales, if they have a little bit of experience, right? They will ask quota achievements and what's the history of the quota achievements and the team, what's going on or whatever. I never been asked, what's your process in hiring? How you're going to get talent? Do you have a network of talents? That's the most important part. Is not important your Rolodex in terms of like potential customers, more important your Rolodex in talents. And attracting talents is not, they're not gonna work for you as a new founder, new brand because of the product or because of the brand, because nobody knows you. They're gonna work with their VP of sales, and I've been lucky enough, for example, a story where I am today, right? Half of my team, or more than half actually, I already worked with them in the past, with one of those AEs or SDRs, right? So that's the important. I already know them. I know what they can do. I know the team dynamics, and they were up and running much quicker than others, right? And then any other team that you can think of, and I can vouch for them. They're tested directly by me, right? So that's the huge advantage for building a team, right? Especially when you are a VP of sales. And nobody asked that. They say, okay, how many people you need? 5 for getting this number. Okay, 5. I need 3 SDR and 2 As, whatever. All right, cool. So how much we're gonna pay? X, Y, Z, done. Nobody asked you what's your process, and now how are you gonna find that? And the cost of mishiring that we're gonna talk about later, and other stuff, they will be. It's I call the founding sales team, right? Which is different from the founding team, right? The founding team is a combination marketing product, whatever, like the founders itself, etc. But
yeah, let's talk about that founding sales team. Tell me.
Yeah, the founding sales team is makes or breaks the company, basically, because they're at the forefront of the company selling your product, and the dynamic that you establish in the founding sales team, you will see forever the entire history of your company. The missing a couple, 1 or 2 hires there, you can just go out of the business because of all those mistakes. And even if a lot of founders say, yeah, we can replace that. Yeah, go back and calculate the cost of all these mishires together. It's huge. We can talk later. I think you have a question about it later on.
I just had something I wanted to add, which was it's not often if we're talking founding sales in the first couple sales hires, it's almost never about the money for me. It's about the timing. If you're raising a seed, an A, a B, or if you're bootstrapped and you're trying to get from, with bootstrapping, you've got to ramp up your expenses before revenue, usually, right? Because you're trying to run it kind of at the limit. This is about a timing. You have a certain window to kind of make something work, or you've got to undo it, and you've just wasted a bunch of cash. And with a Series A or seed to Series A, you only have so much runway to get there. And so every mishire, it's not just the cash, it's the risk of not reaching those next set of milestones that's going to unlock that next founding round. Like puts the whole company at risk with just a few hires that people don't generally pay enough attention to.
I agree. It's a very interesting, again, that I see how easy, especially in the US, there's this approach of, okay, I can replace it at will, right? I can just fire someone the next day and restart. Sure, you can. Law is on your side, but then you need 3 months, 2 months to find a new person, and during these 2 or 3 months, you're losing a bunch of revenue. That you don't know. You're paying, probably a hiring firm, and you're losing a lot, and they need to ramp up. So maybe you will have another player that is not a great AE and another mishire. So I have seen statistics around that 40% of salespeople are considered mishired by startups, and another 20-25 were considered okay player, and then a very few percentage are considered like, okay, I got my A player or whatever it is that you want to call them, right? Top performer. So you have very little chance to get a top performer, and you don't even pay attention to it because you can change, right? This is the thing that gets me most frustrated about, right? And that's why we see out there that the lifespan of VPO sales in a company is 18 months, 17, 16, something like that, right? And for an AE, it's even less. One of the indication for me when I choose a company is how long, salespeople been in the company. And when I see, for example, I saw a few companies having 2 CRO in the span of 2 years. That's for me is a red flag. Something's wrong there. I mean, or like 3 VP of sales in 24 months. I mean, what's going on, right? And unfortunately, there's a lot of that. So that means the mentality of the founder is, let's try this person. If it works, fine. If it doesn't work, next. So they don't care. And if I'm the number 4 means they already miss so much revenue and they burn so much money that the company is a risk. And the team, it's not existent when you change so much leadership. As I told before, like, usually people work for other people, right? I work for my manager. If I'm unhappy with my management, I don't stick around. It's really hard, even if I love the product. Either I make my manager changing or I leave, right? And usually you leave. You ended up leaving. So
100%. I not so recently hired a VP of sales, and it was a referral from another entrepreneur I know. And he said, "Hey, this guy, incredible, best sales manager we've ever had." It's like, great. I need somebody to step into an elevated role. Right. And I remember doing one-on-ones. We had pretty candid one-on-ones, and he's still here. But I remember the number one risk factor was his old VP of sales had gone and started a new company and was trying to recruit him. And I was like, I'm gonna have to hang on here. I was like, because I would, I 100% would follow my old boss around when he went to a new place, and you've got a spot on the team, you've got somebody you can trust and you can work with, because it's a team. It's not a family. It's not a company. It's a team, and there's all these
100%.
teams within teams. And you want to play on a winning team. You want to play with players that you've played with before.